The time has come for the lioness to tell her own story.
What do you have to tell the people about Rastafari?
Light to the world. The king of kings and the conquering lion of the tribe of Judah. Elected himself, first rightful ruler. Hey yo, Eli, hail them high, hail the black king on the 23rd of July. So tell them guy, who praise God up in the sky, it's a lie. The Almighty living on your
I
night.
heard of that.
From ancient time them a try. Them Romans now them just open them suit and ties. Criminals ain't got no alibi, they stole my people. Then them come without them
Are
genocide.
you talking about slavery?
Them couldn't kill the lion we come conquer Judah tribe.
Who?
Go through tribulation, and I strive, see sufferation, and I still rise. That's why we tell them in America, live Rastafari in every ghetto area. We come to tell them in a Toronto, straight at it.
About what year? About what year? Because
2002.
2002.
Yes.
My first trip was 2004 to
Okay.
Ghana. And I want to give the viewers context that Jabi, her Kingman, is one of the pillars in terms of the Rastafari community in Ghana. So by the time I had made and I first tried, and we were able to go to a gathering that the I Kingman was very prominent, and so it's almost a royal situation in terms of the foundation that has been set, within your family, because Jabi does a lot of work with the youths then in terms of football, and so forth. So it's a pillar. So because where I want to take the conversation now is this topic of repatriation. I did an interview with Sister Aini, daughter Aini, Naya Bingi daughter, who's also back and forth to the continent, and she blocked the sound that fire for repatriation. She feels like the movement has lost some of that fire. The eyes on the front line. There's probably no better person to have this conversation with right now than the eye, because you are here active in America, you're active in Jamaica, you know the landscape very well, but yet still you are building in Ghana, actively established businesses in Ghana. What do you say about repatriation right now?
Well, I agree with Sister Aini, Daughter Aini, a very powerful woman, strong Rastafari woman. I admire her greatly. I admire her greatly. She has her own style, and I love it.
Yes,
And she speaks her mind.
yes, she does. Yes, she does. Yes, she does. And go check out that interview, Lion Talk. Daughter
Yes, yes,
is very powerful.
yes, yes. She's a powerful empress.
Mhm.
Yes. So, right. So repatriation, to be sure, I do not see the zeal that I used to see in Rastafari. I don't see the fire for repatriation that there once was, and I don't know what has happened. We have lost, we have lost our zeal. I don't know. I'm sure there are a number of factors that can account for that, and I don't know in particular what it is. What's the main factor? One of the things, though, to recognize is that repatriation is a process rather than just a one-time event,
Yes,
right?
talk about it. Talk about it.
Yes, and it requires planning, and it requires years of planning, and it requires coordination. And if you're going to repatriate, you're going to need someone. If you're in the West, let us say you're in the United States, and you want to repatriate to Ghana, you're going to need someone in Ghana. You're going to need a good friend in Ghana. You're going to need a close brother or sister in Ghana who is willing to assist you in finding land, in purchasing land, in maybe clearing the land for you. Going through, it's not easy work. It is extremely frustrating. And, you know, and the reception that we are expecting from our brothers and sisters on the continent is not always there. Sometimes
Okay.
they see us as, opportunities, and people with money who certainly have more than they do, um, generally, in general, and so they're looking for a quick payday, and they may not always be as honest with us as they ought to be. And so that has brought about a lot of heartache and pain and people losing their money, buying land that the seller was not legally could not
Entitled
legally
to
have
sell. Yes,
conveyed because it
yes.
did not belong to them, or the title, their title wasn't clear. And so there was a lot of those stories of people having lost lots and lots of money in those types of schemes. And so I'm saying that you need someone from the West here who has repatriated, and you're going to want to partner with that person in some capacity to say, this person is going to be representing your interest on the ground and doing the legwork, and it requires a lot of legwork up and down. You understand me? And let me tell you one thing: you need a vehicle when you're in Ghana, and I would imagine you would need one if you're in Ethiopia or Kenya or Uganda or South Africa. Because if you want to accomplish anything meaningful, you're going to need easy access in terms of getting around. Now, I
Yes,
live here in New York. I do not have a vehicle. I do not have a car. I
yes.
rely on public transportation. I take the subway and I
Hmm.
take the bus. And
Yes.
then if I need to go with my sons all have cars. So I rely on them. And if, all else fail, I'll jump in an Uber. So, but I don't have a car. Not so in Ghana. We could not function. We couldn't do what we're doing without vehicles.
Without a vehicle,
Now
and
we
you
have
have
a
a
farm.
beautiful Kantanga
Yes,
made
Kantanka.
car, so you're
Yes,
supporting the
it's
local economy.
Ghana made car. Yes,
Yes,
we have a
yes.
nice Kantanka, and then we have a farm vehicle, a little green pickup that Jabi uses for the farm, and then we have an older car, Mercedes Benz, an older car. Yeah,
Okay.
and right because we're doing a lot of work. We have drivers. We have to have drivers too because to help with the driving. That Jabi can't do it all on his own.
No.
And yes, so let me tell you something. It takes coordination, it takes planning, and it takes some finances. Let me tell you that
Talk
is
about the finance because
oh,
the
I
I
don't
has
want to I
invested
don't
a
want to discourage anyone, but,
yes.
but I am telling you, Ghana is not inexpensive.
No,
It's
we
not.
have to be real. We have to be
Yes,
real with the audience. This is the thing because my audience is 97% male. Most of them are younger than I. I have older brethren too. But one of the things that I talk about is the Rastafari man standard. And one of the things in that standard is the economics, because for far too long, we have neglected our economic development as brethren in particular, which is why we don't see as many sistren gravitating to the movement because women crave security, and the instability that comes from not being economically stable is not attractive. So brethren can have baby mothers, but we're not seeing families, stable Rastafari families being created. And part of that is because we have to be realistic that a family, a kingdom, which essentially a family is a kingdom, requires economics.
absolutely.
Children have to go to school. All of these things are the reality. Big up Queen Mother Moses in the comments. She said truth. Queen Mother Moses, get ready for the eye interview too. Because we have things to discuss as well. But we have to be so real in terms of and I want to big up my brethren Ras Makapi in Tanzania, because he said that the movement has almost glorified poverty, you know,
Absolutely.
and
So I'm
that
so glad he said that because I
yes,
want to address that. Because when I said, I remember one day I said it to my daughter a few years ago. Why is it? Why are we losing the young people at such an alarming rate? Why aren't young people gravitating, even those who grew up in a Rastafari household, in large part? Why are they not? Why are young people not gravitating towards the movement? And she said because nobody's eager to sign up for poverty. That's what she said to
mm,
me. She was being facetious, of course. She said
yes,
that nobody is in a rush sign up for poverty and this glorification of poverty as though there's something noble and righteous about poverty. You understand? And that there's something evil about wealth and riches. We talk about King David, we talk about King Solomon, we talk about Job. Those people were wealthy,
wealthy
right?
Abraham,
Wealthy and righteous and righteous.
yes,
Right. So that wealth does not divest you of your righteousness.
And for the people who burned the Bible, when you look at His Majesty was a wealthy man.
Yes,
Ross McConnell was a wealthy man. Empress Menen was a
right.
wealthy woman. So,
We
you
need to
know,
stop vilifying people
yes,
who are successful, economically successful, and there's a lot of that in our community, and it must stop because unless we have not grown, we haven't learned anything. Because, and I do understand the fundamental sentiment that the system is corrupt, the system is lopsided, that it favors some people and it disfavors others, and I mean hence the need for Rastafari. Rastafari rose up as a direct response to the oppression that people, depression in the system, particularly as it related to us black people in the West and throughout the world, because even in Africa, Africans are victimized. They are marginalized in their own country. They
yes,
don't get the benefit of their resources. Outsiders, other people, other races have come into Africa and raped Africa of all of its wealth, its natural resources. And we are sitting around and allowing it to happen. Moreover, we don't have the wherewithal to even compete. So when the African, when our indigenous brothers and sisters, they're moved by money. They're moved by money. So when we come and we're saying, "Oh, we're your long um, lost brother and sister from the West," they're like, "Yeah, moving along." And how much money you got? You understand? So that nobody wants to hear about victim. Nobody wants a victim. Nobody wants a crybaby.
yes,
It's similar to when you're applying for, a school, right? You're trying to get into a particular college, and you have to write a personal statement, and then you can talk about the challenges that you may have faced in your life, but you can't stop there. You must talk about how you have overcome those challenges to get
yes,
to reach where you are, right? So you can say, "Oh, my mother was a crack addict. Oh, my father was a murderer. I was in prison. I was raised by wolves, and so forth and so on." And then what? And then what? You understand? So after I was raised by wolves, and then I didn't learn to walk upright until I was 15. Whatever. You understand? And people want to know, how did you overcome the challenges that you faced in your life?
that is
Nobody
it.
wants a crybaby.
Iron Vice. Them could never conquer the mountains. Thousands of years and counting. Ethiopia rise again unto the world. Now we are announcing. Them a plan for war, we a plan for peace. And now we see them wanna go dismantle the base. When the trumpet sound and the violence cease, how we say one go build up the cities. Well, them a plan for war, we a plan for peace. And now we see them wanna go dismantle the base. Rastafari crown as the Prince of Peace. Him tell the youths them fi build up them countries. Well, solar energy that them a see. The whole city powered by the sun's energy. The road them make out of hemp and concrete. Neighborhoods full of fruit trees that taste sweet. The youths put down them guns, them harvest and a reap. The beautiful gardens will line every street. Tired of the bloodshed, them done with the beef. Not even animals feed them burn out the meat. Where people say Haile Selassie, I see Nile. When they see say him a treat the dirt like a child. Peace on earth from the banks of the Nile. That's why we giving thanks in style. See say Babylon a weapon, them a stockpile. Babylon a wicked, kill them brother and smile. Iron, lion, Babylon a reptile. Them a plant fish, shed blood, we got plans for the soil.